Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Sardar Bharadwaj. Coming up in the next hour. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi visits western Indian state of Maharashtra to unveil and lay foundation stone of metro and road projects. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar says his upcoming visit to Pakistan for SCO meet will focus on multilateral event rather than on discussing bilateral relations. Red alert Islamabad after Imran Khan supporter hit streets calling for his release. Security beefed up, cell phone services suspended. As Israel-Lebanon conflict intensifies, countries including South Korea and Portugal activate emergency evacuation plans for their citizens in Lebanon. In the first leg of his day-long visit to the western Indian state of Maharashtra, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi's first stop was in Washim, where he visited the Jagdamba Mata temple and offered prayers there. PM Modi also paid tributes at samadhis of Sant Sevalal Maharaj and Sant Ram Rao Maharaj in Washim. The PM inaugurated the Banjara Virasat Museum, celebrating the rich heritage of the Banjara community. Prime Minister seemed quite happy beating traditional drum at the museum as well as at the Sevalal Maharaj temple. PM went around the museum and saw the artifacts kept there. PM launched several initiatives related to the agricultural and animal husbandry sector, worth around rupees 23,300 crores. Addressing the gathering, PM slammed the Congress for being hand in glove with what he termed as urban Naxals.
बीजेपी अपनी नीतियों से वंचित समाज को आगे बढ़ाना चाहती है, जबकि कांग्रेस सिर्फ लूटना जानती है। कांग्रेस गरीब को गरीब बनाकर रखना चाहती है। कमजोर और गरीब भारत कांग्रेस को उसकी राजनीति को बहुत सूट करता है। इसलिए आप सभी को कांग्रेस से बहुत सावधान रहना है। आज कांग्रेस को पूरी तरह से अर्बन नक्सल का गिरोह चला रहा है। कांग्रेस को लगता है कि अगर सब एक हो गए तो देश को बांटने का उनका एजेंडा फेल हो जाएगा। इसलिए हमें आपस में लड़वाना चाहते हैं। पूरा देश देख रहा है कांग्रेस के खतरनाक एजेंडों को विकास सपोर्ट, किसका सपोर्ट मिल रहा है? जो लोग भारत को आगे बढ़ने से रोकना चाहते हैं वो इन दिनों कांग्रेस के सबसे करीबी दोस्त हैं। इसलिए समय एक होने का है। हमारी एकता ही देश को बचाएगी।
Prime Minister will inaugurate and lay the foundation stone of key metro and road projects on his visit to Maharashtra. He will inaugurate the BKC to RA JVLR section of Mumbai Metro Line 3, which is worth around rupees 14,120 crore. DD India speaks to Ashwini Bhire, MD of Mumbai Metro Rail Corporation, for more.
Colaba-Bandra Seeps Corridor Line 3 is the first and the only fully underground metro line being implemented for Mumbai metropolitan region. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the BKC to RA JVLR section of this line. Metro Line 3 is a key project to improve and facilitate transportation in the city, and once fully operational, Line 3 will cater to around 13 lakh passengers daily with train frequency of about 3 to 4 minutes, ferrying approximately 2,500 passengers in each train.
Phase 1, about 4.84 lakh passengers will be travelling on Phase 1. We will run about 9 trains of 8 coaches with 96 trips, and they will carry these many passengers. So this is a very, very important connectivity which Mumbai is getting, and it has the capacity to transform the way Mumbai travels.
Cuff Parade Station in Kolaba and RA, JVLR Station near Seeps are the stations at either ends of the corridor. The total length is 33.5 kilometers, which is fully underground corridor having 26 underground plus 1 at grade stations.
This is a 33.5 kilometer long, 37,276 crore worth metro project, which is first underground project, metro project of in Mumbai, and the longest fully underground metro project of India.
The line will add connectivity to 6 major business and employment centers including Nariman Point, Cuff Parade, Fort, Lower Parel, BKC and Seeps, Mid-Sea. It will integrate with other existing and under construction metros, monorail, suburban rail and state transport bus services. 15% of the line traffic is expected out of the traffic on suburban railways.
Metro Line 3 will be a crucial addition to the growing metro web in Mumbai. And once integrated with other metro lines and the other transportation hub, it will further enhance the overall public transit network. With camera person Gaurav Kagra, this is Shama Mishra for DD India, Mumbai.
All right, indeed, India. Shama Mishra joins us from Mumbai to give us more details on it. Hi, Shama. We just saw a wonderful report. It explains everything regarding what viewers wanted to know. But still, Prime Minister Modi will inaugurate a 12.44 kilometer stretch of the Mumbai Metro Line 3. Please tell us, how will it help the commuters, keeping in mind that millions of people travel across the city on daily basis? All right, we are not getting your audio right now, Shama. All right, we are trying to connect to a correspondent, Shama Mishra, who is joining us from Mumbai. Meanwhile, in central Indian state of Chhattisgarh, an encounter broke out between left-wing extremists and security forces along the Narayanpur-Dantewada border. So far, 31 dead bodies and heavy arms and ammunition have been recovered. The operation is still underway. Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Vishnu Deosai, congratulated the police personnel and said the Maoism is taking its last breath in the state.
मैं समझता हूँ कि अब तक का ये बहुत बड़ा ऑपरेशन हुआ है और इस सफलता के लिए मैं अपने जवानों को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूँ। उनके मतलब साहस को हम नमन करते हैं और हम पहले से ही माओवादियों से कहते आए हैं कि वो लोग हिंसा का रास्ता को छोड़ के विकास की मुख्यधारा से जुड़े और अब डबल इंजन सरकार के कारण हम लोग मजबूती के साथ लड़ रहे हैं और माओवाद अंतिम सांस गिन रहे हैं और बहुत जल्दी छत्तीसगढ़ में शांति स्थापित होने वाली है.
And as we all know that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Maharashtra, and to give us more details on what is on the cards, we have been again joined by our correspondent Shama Mishra from Mumbai. Shama, we somehow lost connection because of technical glitch, but you may continue with your answer.
Well, Siddharth, I was saying that, Prime Minister has already gone to Washim. He will now soon be here in Thane, and he'll be inaugurating this line, which is the Aqua line, Mumbai Metro Line 3 at Thane, and then he would be coming here to this particular area at the station, and here there'll be several events, several app launch, souvenir exchange, and then he will be traveling through the metro. He will start off from the BKC station, 2 stations, and then he will be coming back, and later he'll be going to another event. The speciality of this particular line line is such that it will connect. This is one phase. This is the first phase, which is going to get commissioned after the inauguration of, by Prime Minister, and this will connect several industrial area where at peak hours, during the office peak hours, we can understand that there's a huge crowd of workers, employees that come through railway stations, through Western and Central railways, and the entire connection is somehow to this commercial area is not that great. So people have to rely on autos, buses, and the entire road gets jammed.
Okay.
Now this particular station is amidst the entire BKC, and people can actually walk to their stations. So this is going to be a game changer, and once fully operational, this will connect from South Mumbai, which is Cuff Parade, to north, which is in Goregaon. So the entire Mumbai, various religious places, heritage sites, the MIDCs, industrial areas will be totally covered under this. So that is how it's going to be a game changer. Also, this is the first underground complete line, and the entire stations will be underground. So we can understand what kind of several changes this particular line has to go through.
Definitely.
Had to go through in order to be ready today. We are also understanding that the remaining part, which is the phase 2 from BKC to Cuff Parade, will be ready by March 2025. So we are hoping that also gets ready, and that also gets commissioned soon, so that it changes the landscape of how Mumbaikars are traveling. Also, I was talking about how Prime Minister he would be traveling from this metro line, and then he'll be going to another event. So the next event, which is the last event in Mumbai, is an event where Prime Minister will be getting it's Abhijat Marathi. The program's name is Abhijat Marathi.
Okay.
So people from the areas, from the backgrounds of Marathi scholars and everyone, they'll be coming and they'll be thanking Prime Minister, because Marathi has now been given the status of classical language along with other languages as well. So this is a great news for Maharashtra, and that is how the last event in Mumbai, in Maharashtra, will be done, where Prime Minister would be thanked, and the entire the representatives from various backgrounds, they would be coming and they would be thanking Prime Minister.
Shama, when last time we had a word with you, we saw some beautiful pictures behind you. The pictures were showcasing that how this station was made and the hard work of everyone. And now I can also see some beautiful decoration behind you. Can you just show us around and tell us some special things about this station, something very unique?
All right. So yes, Siddharth. So the painting that I showed you last time was this side. So I can't pan there, but this I'll show you the background over here. This is all fully beautifully decorated with flowers, and since it's Navratri time, since it's festival time, we can understand how people are ready to welcome Prime Minister. And this is the area where the escalators are made, and you could also see some signages where the lifts are showcased. The signages of lifts are made even for handicaps, for specially abled. Everything is there. So the entire stretch there, it has around 3 sets of elevators and escalators. So we can understand this is completely accessible for everybody. And over here, just at this place, there is the entry side where people can put their token and the card through which they travel, and they can get the entry. So we are understanding that Prime Minister would be here, and he'll be participating in the program, and then he'll be given a QR code, the ticket through which he will be coming across this particular area, passageway, and then he'll be going, there'll be some photo sessions, and then he'll be going down. So it's underground. We are already 2 levels down, and there's another level down, which is where the train stands. So he'll be going there further down, and through the escalators he'll be going, and then he gets onto the train, where he'll be interacting with several people. And as Prime Minister is known for traveling, when he travels with students, he travels with several people, people from various backgrounds. So here we are understanding that there'll be beneficiaries of various schemes, including the Ladki Behin Yojana, and also there'll be school students with whom Prime Minister would be interacting.
Definitely, it will certainly give a boost to the commuters all across the city, and wonderfully explained, Shama. You also told us the significance of Navratri festival. Thank you so much for this wonderful analysis. Polling for the 90 assembly seats in the North Indian state of Haryana is underway. 52.4% voter turnout has been recorded till 3 p.m. local time. The voting will last till 6 p.m. local time to decide the fate of 1,031 candidates. The counting of votes will be held on October 8, with the election results being declared on the same day. All right, and DD India's Akanksha Saxena is joining us from Chandigarh to tell us what all is happening when it comes to Haryana elections. Hi, Akanksha. What has been the voter turnout so far? First things first.
Just now at around 3:30 p.m., Chief Secretary of Haryana TVSN Prasar just held a press conference, and he just intimated us that 54.2% of voting has been done in Haryana by 3:30 p.m. and is expected that it might reach to 70%.
Okay.
With the kind of percentage which we see right now, he says that we are certain that the percentage might go beyond 70% in Haryana. As far as the polling is concerned, it is totally going peaceful, and there are no untoward incidents which have been reported.
Okay.
And except 2-3 incidents which has been reported, but then so far it has not affected the polling. So we can say the polling is underway peacefully in Haryana. And as far as we talk about the urban and rural areas, so certainly the urban areas are lagging behind right now. But what is expected is this, that around 5 p.m. or 4 p.m., the constituencies, the districts like Gurgaon and Faridabad would come up, because right now we see very less percentage there. So that.
Definitely. Akanksha, can you tell us what is the general sentiment among voters, regarding the candidates and parties running in this election?
See, if I talk about the general sentiment, it depends on the constituency to constituency. And yes, everybody is coming up. And if you see the voter percentage, if we see the last year's last polling percentage and this time polling percentage, then certainly, there is a more turnout of voters this time. And that is certainly, this shows that people really want to vote and they really want to elect their representatives. And that is how they are coming out and exercising their
franchise,
vote, franchising. And then that is what is happening. So as far as now, we can see that people are turning out and they are voting. So certainly they are aware, they want to vote, and they are voting for the good government, good governance.
Definitely. Akanksha, very quickly, what are the key issues, or topics that seem to be influencing voters' decisions in this assembly poll?
See, most of the time, the key problems which any of the constituencies or any of the states is that unemployment is there, and there are issues with the farmers also. And these were some main issues, unemployment and education, better education and health services. And certainly because Haryana and Punjab are the agriculture, it has a lot of farmers, and agricultural sector is there. So yes, farmer issues were one of the main things. And if we talk about the wrestlers also, there were some of the issues which were picked up, and certainly, unemployment is one of the things. And we have seen also that there were problems like drug addiction and everything. So these are the issues, which were taken up this time. And if we look at the manifestos of all the parties also, so they have emphasized on giving a better education and better employment to the youth of the state.
All right, we leave it there. Thank you so much, Akanksha, for your analysis. India has renewed its urgent call for adopting an international treaty against terrorism at the United Nations General Assembly's Legal Committee, one it first proposed nearly 30 years ago. At the United Nations General Assembly's Legal Committee, legal officer with India's UN mission, R. Maithili, expressed deep concern over the growing strength of terrorist groups, which are harnessing cutting-edge technologies to enhance their capabilities. She emphasized the need for countries to overcome the current stalemate in finalizing the Comprehensive Convention on International Terrorism. She also condemned countries that justify terrorism for political reasons. India's appeal for international unity comes in the wake of renewed global commitments to counter terrorism following the adoption of the Pact of the Future at last month's UN summit. Pakistan's capital Islamabad and neighbouring Rawalpindi were locked down with major roads blocked, mobile services suspended as jailed ex-Prime Minister Imran Khan called on supporters to hit the streets. Police fired tear gas as they clashed with supporters of Imran Khan who were holding an anti-government rally in defiance of a ban on congregating in the city. Authorities sealed off Islamabad and blocked cell phone services to prevent the gathering, with the city on high alert in the lead up to a series of high-level diplomatic events, including a visit from the Indian Foreign Minister. It was the latest in a series of protest rallies since last month to press for Khan's release and agitate against the ruling coalition, which the PTI calls illegitimate, saying it was formed after a fraudulent election. 6 Pakistani soldiers, including a high-ranking officer, have died in clashes that erupted with Islamist terrorists in Pakistan's tribal district of North Waziristan, which borders Afghanistan, the military said in a statement on Saturday. Lieutenant Colonel Muhammad Ali Shaukat, who the Pak Army said was leading the troops in the encounter with terrorists, was among those killed on Friday night. Amidst ongoing conflicts between Russia, Ukraine, or between Israel and Gaza, India has said that it is trying to do whatever it can to find a solution. This was stated by India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar on Saturday in Delhi when he was delivering Sardar Patel lecture on governance. He said that none of these conflicts are opportunities, rather they are the problem in the globalized world.
Conflict anywhere actually creates problems everywhere. And some supply of some kind will get affected by this. So I would say, honestly today, whether it is the conflict in Ukraine or the conflict in the Middle East, West Asia, these are big factors of instability, big factors of concern. I think the entire world, including us, we are worried about it, and we are trying to see at least where we can make a difference and do what we can.
Russia has taken control of a strategic village in Ukraine's eastern Donetsk region called Zelandruh as of Saturday. This announcement follows a week of intense military activity. Russian forces reportedly struck key Ukrainian infrastructure, including military industrial sites, energy facilities, and military airports. Meanwhile, Ukrainian forces claim to have repelled multiple Russian attacks, underscoring the ongoing conflict's volatility. The Israel-Lebanon conflict continues to escalate, with multiple incidents of airstrikes and explosions reported over the weekend. In northern Lebanon, an Israeli strike targeted an apartment building in Tripoli, killing Hamas leader Saeed Atallah. In Beirut's southern suburbs, a series of explosions sent smoke billowing near the airport following evacuation orders issued by the Israeli army for parts of the area. The intensifying Israel-Hezbollah conflict has prompted countries to activate emergency evacuation plans for their citizens in Lebanon. A Dutch military plane arrived at the Eindhoven air base, carrying nearly 150 nationals, along with Belgian, Finnish and Irish citizens. Portugal welcomed 41 citizens back home on a special military flight from Beirut. The flight included 16 Portuguese citizens and family members of other nationalities as well. A South Korean military transport aircraft also returned 97 citizens from Lebanon on Saturday. A flight carrying Australian evacuees from Lebanon landed in Cyprus on Saturday. Officials greeted them with water and apples at Larnaca airport. The UAE, in collaboration with the World Health Organization, delivered a vital shipment of humanitarian and medical supplies to Lebanon on October 4. The critical aid arrived at the Beirut Rafik Hariri International Airport and will address Lebanon's escalating humanitarian crisis due to the ongoing cross-border conflict with Israel. As the US presidential polls come near, candidates are making new commitments and new accusations against their rivals, making the campaign targeted and pinpointed to woo the respective electorate. In a Michigan rally on Friday, Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris praised the role of workers' unions and tried to woo the middle class, vowing to work for them. She also accused her rival Donald Trump for not caring for jobs at all.
And America lost nearly 200,000 manufacturing jobs when he was president, including tens of thousands of jobs in Michigan. And those losses started before the pandemic, so we're clear. Making Donald Trump one of the biggest losers of manufacturing jobs in American history.
The former president and Republican candidate Donald Trump was also on his campaign trip in Georgia on Friday. He centered his speech on accusing the Democratic Biden administration of misappropriation of funds.
It's been a terrible response from the White House. They're missing $1 billion that was used for another purpose, and nobody's seen anything like that. No, from that standpoint, it's been terrible.
Let's take a look at other stories making news around the world. A fire broke out at a factory in Vietnam's Lang Son province on Friday. The fire destroyed around 5,000 electric vehicles and components. Firefighting planes were spotted releasing fire retardant and water over a wildfire in Idaho's Boise foothills on Friday. The wildfire sparked early morning and has already burned thousands of acres in the Boise foothills. Muslim women are challenging taboos by inspiring women from East London's disadvantaged neighbourhoods to engage in water sports that have historically seemed out of reach for ethnic minorities. The town of Donja Jablanica in Bosnia and Herzegovina witnessed devastation on Saturday following torrential rain and landslides that destroyed homes, roads and bridges in the center of the country. A gang attack in the western Haiti town of has killed 70 people and over 6,000 forced to flee. The Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights said that the gang members set fires to dozens of houses and vehicles as people ran for safety. Grand Griff gang leader Luxon Allen took responsibility for the massacre, saying it was in retaliation for civilians remaining passive while police and vigilante groups killed his soldiers. Haiti's Prime Minister Gary Conille offered his condolences to those affected by the attack and said law enforcement would be stepping up its response. UN spokesperson Stéphane Dujarric in a statement said that the agency was horrified by the attack and called for a prompt and thorough investigation.
Turning to Haiti. Given the violence that we have seen, the Secretary General strongly condemns the attack by armed gangs in the town of Pont-Sondé in the Artibonite department that took place yesterday. The attack left several dozen people dead, including women and children, injured many more, and resulted in the displacement of at least 3,000 people. As gang violence continues to spread from the capital to other departments of Haiti, the Secretary General stresses the importance of the joint efforts undertaken by the Haitian National Police and the Multinational Security Support Mission. Those efforts need to be supported.
Still to come on DD Indian News Hour. Joint exercise between the Indian and Kazakhstan Army is underway at the Surya Foreign Training Node in Oli, Uttarakhand. India has become the fourth economy in the world to cross $700 billion of foreign exchange reserves.
This is a golden era of the Indian chess with both the men's and women's team winning gold at the Olympiad. What do you think is driving this incredible success for Indian chess on the global stage right now?
Some level it was always bound to happen. And India has come very close in some Olympiads, and then they unfortunately couldn't get the gold medal. But this year, I think, was the golden year, and we managed to get it.
How you maintain your focus, your composure during the tournament?
Just try to focus on one thing at a time. Helps me get into the groove, get into the mode. Focusing on the current moment really helps.
You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Sardar Bhardwaj, and a quick recap of the headlines. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi visits western Indian state of Maharashtra to unveil and lay foundation stone of metro and road projects. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar says his upcoming visit to Pakistan for SCO meet will focus on multilateral event rather than on discussing bilateral relations. Red alert Islamabad after Imran Khan's supporters hit streets calling for his release. Security beefed up, cell phone services suspended. India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar during the prestigious Sardar Patel lecture emphasized Patel's strategic vision on foreign policy. From Pakistan to China, Patel's foresight continues to shape India's diplomatic stance. As Jaishankar prepares for the SCO meeting, Patel's legacy remains a guiding force. DD's Tapas Bhattacharya with more details.
In a powerful address at the Sardar Patel lecture on governance, India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar highlighted Sardar Patel's strategic vision on foreign policy. From Pakistan to China, Jaishankar reflected on Patel's foresight in handling critical issues.
Within our system, Patel was the most forceful advocate of using all avenues of pressure on that country after the invasion of Jammu and Kashmir. His reluctance to take the matter to the UN itself stemmed from the belief that Pakistan was it was better to deal directly with Pakistan rather than in a framework that would allow Pakistan to manipulate.
He emphasized Patel's realism, reminding us that India's relationship with Pakistan cannot overlook the ongoing threat of cross-border terrorism. On China, Minister also stressed about how Patel warned the country to prepare for threats on two fronts.
India's relationship with China is similarly an issue on which the Sardar Patel's instincts are on record. In Patel's view, India had done everything to allay China's apprehensions, but that country regarded us with suspicion and skepticism, perhaps mixed with a little hostility.
On his upcoming visit to Pakistan for the SCO meeting, S. Jaishankar clarified that the visit is purely for multilateral discussions and not to address the India-Pakistan relations.
I, expect there would be a lot of media interest because the very nature of the relationship is such, and I think we'll deal with it. But I do want to say it will be for a multilateral event. I mean, I'm not going there to discuss India-Pakistan relations.
Prabhat Kumar, the former cabinet secretary and the first governor of Jharkhand, also discussed governance and the enduring legacy of Sardar Patel.
We should not continue to benchmark ourselves with our past, and we should continuously explore new pathways for better governance. Sardar Patel, as Mahesh just said, he defined governance for an emerging nation, and he visualized the future of governance of the country. In the Constituent Assembly, once he said that one could rely upon future leaders of the country to develop healthy conventions.
As India continues to navigate complex regional dynamics, Sardar Patel's foresight remains a guiding principle in shaping our foreign policy. Tapas Bhattacharya's report, DD India.
Consul General of Japan in Mumbai, Koji Yagi, inaugurated the 12th Japan Festival in Ahmedabad. 12th Japan Festival unfolds a unique experience to savor the flavor of popular folk dances of Japan and Gujarat, two regions which, though geographically distant, share a rich tapestry of cultural similarities. While UNESCO added traditional Japanese folk dances, popularly known as Furyu Dori to its intangible cultural heritage of humanity in November 2022, the globally celebrated Gujarati Garba got similar recognition in December 2023. DD India spoke to the Consul General of Japan in Mumbai at the festival.
Very much impressive, and this is the 12th Festival of Japan and the first occasion for joint collaboration with full participation of Japanese community. Together with they demonstrate the good friendship between Japan and Gujarat, and this kind of the activities I'm 100% sure that contributes a lot to the further strengthening the relationship.
Foreign Minister of Argentina, Diana Mondino, arrived in India on Saturday on an official visit. During her stay, she will co-chair the 7th India-Argentina Joint Commission meeting with EAM Dr. S. Jaishankar. The visiting dignitary will meet several Indian ministers and attend a business event. The visit is taking place in the year when we are celebrating 75 years of diplomatic ties. It will not only provide the opportunity to review the entire gamut of bilateral relations, but also to discuss ways to further deepen and widen the India-Argentina strategic partnership. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar was on a day-long visit to Sri Lanka on Friday. During his visit, Dr. S. Jaishankar called on President Anura Kumara Dissanayake and met with Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasurya. In his meeting with the President, Dr. Jaishankar discussed ways to deepen ongoing cooperation and strengthen India-Sri Lanka ties for the benefit of people of two countries and the region. The minister also held discussions with Foreign Minister Vijita Herath and met former President Ranil Wickremesinghe and leader of SJB Sajith Premadasa. India's Minister of State for External Affairs, Pabitra Margarita, attended the ceremonial state opening of the third session of the 11th Parliament of Grenada. In a social media post, the minister said that he had insightful interactions with the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Leo Cato, and the President of the Senate, Dr. Decima Williams. India has become the fourth economy in the world to cross US $700 billion of foreign exchange reserves, along with China, Japan, and Switzerland. India's foreign exchange reserves rose by $12.588 billion to new all-time high of $704.885 billion in September end. The sharp increase in foreign exchange reserves has strengthened India's ability to deal with global economic uncertainties and provided greater stability to its currency in the face of volatile international markets. As per the latest data of Reserve Bank of India, India's gold reserves have increased by $2.184 billion to $65.796 billion. Special drawing rights at the International Monetary Fund increased by $8 million to $18.547 billion. The maritime exercise Malabar 2024 is set to take place from October 8 to 18, starting with the harbour phase in Visakhapatnam, followed by sea phase. Hosted by India, this year's exercise to witness participation from Australia, Japan and the United States. Indian naval platforms, along with forces from Australia, the US and Japan, will engage in complex maritime operations, including anti-submarine warfare and air defense exercises. A distinguished visitors' day is planned for October 9th, along with a joint press conference co-chaired by the heads of all delegations. Malabar 2024 is expected to be the most comprehensive edition yet, focusing on enhancing cooperation and operational capabilities. India and Kazakhstan armies are conducting joint exercise named Exercise Kazind in India's northern state of Uttarakhand. A display of weapons and equipment was done, including weapon handling and live firing for the troops. Indian contingent shared their expertise and experiences during this demonstration. Exercise Kazind 2024 aims to achieve operational synergy, enhance interoperability and ensure tactical precision in close quarter engagements. Let's take a look at other stories making news. The holy city of Tirupati in the southern state of Andhra Pradesh experienced heavy rains that lashed several areas of the city. India has successfully test-fired the indigenously developed very short-range air defense system missiles at the Pokhran firing ranges in Jaisalmer, Rajasthan. The Defence Research and Development Organisation conducted 3 tests as part of ongoing development trials. Indian Army officer Lieutenant General Prashant Srivastava has assumed command of the Jammu and Kashmir China Corps, taking over from Lieutenant General Rajiv Ghai. Junior doctors at Kolkata's RG Kaur Medical College and Hospital protested on Friday following a recent incident of rape and murder. They issued a 24-hour ultimatum to the state government to fulfill their demands, warning that they would begin an indefinite hunger strike if their concerns are not addressed. India's India is home to rich linguistic heritage. India's Union Cabinet has approved the recognition of 5 more languages as classical. Marathi, Pali, Prakrit, Assamese and Bengali join the ranks of 6 others that are already recognized as classical.
India is home to a rich linguistic heritage with several ancient languages that have evolved over thousands of years. To honor and protect this cultural legacy, Government of India has granted classical language status to Marathi, Pali, Prakrit, Assamese and Bengali. These languages are now part of the nation's protected linguistic treasures.
Once a language is declared as a classical language, there is a lot of international interest in it. There are many international universities which start courses and research programs in those classical languages. And we have seen in the recent times, several international awards have been instituted to recognize and encourage the achievements in the field of classical languages.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi applauded the Cabinet's decision, emphasizing that recognizing these 5 languages as classical will inspire more people to learn and explore their rich histories.
So if these languages are declared as the classical languages, the universities would establish chairs. There would be center of excellences to study these languages. There would be publications and there would be documentation on these languages.
पूर्व का जो दौर रहा है उसमें पाली और प्राकृत ने अपनी ध्वजा को संस्कृत के साथ विस्तार दिया है। पुनः ऐसा होने पर जो हमारी प्राच्य विद्याविद हैं उनके निर्माण की एक नई श्रृंखला पैदा होगी।
इन सारों की एक साथ बात करें तो निसंदेह जो हमारा ज्ञान निधि है उसको पूरा करने के लिए इन भाषाओं का मेन स्ट्रीम में आना निहायत जरूरी था।
Looking back in 2004, Government of India introduced a new category for languages known as classical languages. The criteria were revised in 2005 and again in 2024. The key criteria for classical language status includes documented antiquity of text or history spanning over 1500 to 2000 years, a body of ancient texts considered a heritage by generations of speakers, the presence of significant prose, poetry, inscriptions, and epigraphical evidence. The classical language may be distinct from or discontinuous with its modern form or derivatives. The Ministry of Education has taken significant steps to promote classical languages, including establishing 3 central universities dedicated to language promotion. Before the cabinet decision, India recognized 6 classical languages: Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada, Sanskrit and Odia. Tamil was the first to receive the status in 2004, followed by Sanskrit in 2005. By extending classical status to 5 more languages, government aims to boost employment opportunities in academic and research sectors. The recognition is expected to foster a sense of pride and ownership among speakers of these languages, strengthening national unity and promoting India's vision of cultural self-reliance. Tripti Tripaঠি's report for DD India.
And still to come on DD India News Hour. England set to lock horns with Bangladesh in Sharjah in second match. Coco Gauff stages superb comeback, beats Paula Badosa to enter into China Open final.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Sardar Bharadwaj, and time now for sport. And England will lock horns with Bangladesh in Sharjah in the second match on Saturday. While this will be the first match for the English side, Bangladesh will be high on confidence after winning their first match against Scotland on Thursday. England will be led by experienced Heather Knight, who will also have the likes of Nat Skyver-Brunt and Daniel White on her side, while Sultana will lead the hosts with the in-form Ritu Moni. Both teams have faced each other only thrice in T20 internationals, with England winning all three previous encounters. India and Bangladesh will square off in the first men's T20 international of the three-match series in Gwalior on Sunday. India would hope to continue its winning streak following their 2-0 win in the recently concluded Test series. India stars who were part of the Test series have been rested. However, the men in blue have a star-studded lineup consisting of Captain Surya Kumar Yadav, Hardik Pandya, Sanju Samson, Arshdeep Singh and others. On the other hand, Bangladesh skipper Najmul Hossain Shanto promised to play aggressive brand of cricket. Overall, India and Bangladesh have played 14 T20 international matches against each other. India have won 13 of them. International cricket will return to Gwalior after 14 years. And fans can expect a run feast in the first match. All right, and for more on this, we are joined by DD India's Narayan Singh. Narayan, let me just go back, to the past a bit, a recent past. 2 test matches, and the second test match, we all know how India won that test match. I mean, it was looking like somewhat impossible that, the match will end in a draw or will be abandoned. But the way they've, literally snatched that test match from Bangladesh is something very, very commendable. And now coming to T20 match, we just told our viewers that Bangladesh this time has promised that they will play aggressive cricket. But will it be enough, in front of men in blue with, fresh faces, a fresh breeze coming into the dressing room and, making waves also? It seems like the new faces, new team members and new aggression, new passion.
Siddharth, as you mentioned, fresh breathe, and we can say the fresh breeze in the dressing room.
Yeah.
As the new era has begun in the Indian T20 format, and there are many new phases considering the fact that if you talk about the T20 cricket, Rohit Sharma is not there, Virat Kohli is not there, Ravindra Jadeja too has taken retirement from the game, and we can say that the senior pros from the Test series also, they are rested, and we can see that a fresh and a young team under Surya Kumar Yadav. So it's an important series, T20 series, both for India and as well as for Bangladesh for different reasons, considering the fact that we can say the pros are being rested. The fringe players from the Indian side look to establish themselves, and also ahead of the IPL auction that will take place, they will also try to raise their value by performing in this series, especially the young players, because there is a new retention rule, and it will also impact the franchisees how to retain and whom to not. So all an important series, and the fact is that Bangladesh is looking more experienced. They have many experienced players. Indian team is looking new, but the Indian team led by the Surya Kumar Yadav is looking more versatile and more skilled, considering the fact that the only opener in the Indian side is the Abhishek Sharma, and we know what kind of player, destructive player he is. And in the series, his debut series against Zimbabwe, he scored a phenomenal 100, and right here again he will try to replicate that thing. And apart from that, we also know that Mayank Yadav, who could also make a debut, and we know that he consistently clocking above 150 km/h, and he could also make a debut. And apart from that, Nitish Rana from the KKR too can make a debut, considering the fact that the senior pace pros from the Test series from the Indian squad also rested in this series.
Narayan, what are the conditions in Gwalior saying? Any idea? Any update on that?
If you took the Test, the cricket, the international cricket is returning to Gwalior after a long time.
That's a delight for that's a delight for all the cricket fans, Narayan.
True, as you mentioned, after a gap of 14 years, in the past the matches took place in the other stadium, that is Captain Roop Kumar Stadium, and now it's the newly built stadium. It will be the first match at the stadium, and that is Madhav Raj Scindia Stadium. So it is very difficult to tell that in what way the pitch will behave. But all in all, it's going to be a cracker of a contest, considering the fact that the new Indian faces are there. We are hoping that the new era that has begun in the Indian cricket, especially in the T20, they will continue that momentum, and especially against Sri Lanka, Indian team under Surya Kumar Yadav thrashed the Sri Lanka 3-0, and we are hoping that momentum will continue here also.
Narayan, both the sides have played 14 T20 international matches against each other. India won 13 out of the 14 matches that both of the countries played against each other. How do you analyze tomorrow's match? You know, like we've just mentioned, you know, in the beginning of this conversation, that there are fresh faces in the Indian side, but in the home conditions, we can't deny the fact that they play really aggressive cricket and they know the conditions, so they will have a dominating edge.
Definitely, we know that earlier we mentioned that this Bangladesh side is more experienced than the Indian side, but when we talk in terms of skill and versatility, then this Indian side is great. We know that the skills of our opener, especially the Abhishek Sharma, the kind of cricket he played against Sunrisers Hyderabad, are destructive and taking the cricket, the IPL cricket at the new height. And after that, we know the Sanju Samson too is getting an opportunity here, because as there is no second openers, he may open for India here. And Hardik Pandya too, we know that what kind of impact he can make in any game. So it's we can say that a balanced approach the BCCI has gone in this match. Many new faces, retaining the players like Hardik Pandya too. So all in all, it's going to be a cracker of a contest, and we know that the skilled Indian players, the bowlers too, especially Mayank Yadav, all eyes are on Mayank Yadav too, because we know that he won 2 man of the matches in the IPL for the Lucknow Super Giants, and after that he got injured, and after that he didn't play any cricket. Now it remains to be seen that would he able to clock that speed here or not. So all eyes are on Mayank Yadav. We are hoping that the most important thing about the Mayank is that he is not only clocking 150 km/h, but also he has we can say that he has established himself not only as a pacer, but he has a great control over his pace and length. That's making a great bowler, and because of that he won 2 man of the matches in his IPL match. So if he can maintain that thing here also, definitely we can say that already our Indian bowling attack is one of the finest in the world. We can say that that will be an icing on the cake for the Indian pace bowling department.
All right, we'll leave there. Thank you so much, Narayan, for your analysis. England captain Ben Stokes will miss the opening test against Pakistan in Multan, which begins on Monday due to a hamstring injury. Batter Oli Pope, who led England during the home series against Sri Lanka, will lead the tourists in the match. Stokes was not sure if he would play the second test starting on October 15. England announced their playing 11, which includes seamer Brydon Cars, who will be making his test debut. Left-arm spinner Jack Leach has made a return to the test setup. Coco Gauff fought back from a set-down to beat Spain's Paula Badosa and surge into the final of the China Open on Saturday. The American won 4-6, 6-4, 6-2 in the semi-final. The 6th-ranked Gauff racked up 11 double faults and also converted just 6 of 20 break points, but battled back down to Spain yard. Last year's US Open champion, who has struggled in recent months, is chasing a second title of the year and 8th overall. Gauff's only title of the year so far came in Auckland in January. Four-time Grand Slam winner Carlos Alcaraz made short work of China's Shang Junchang, in fact, on Saturday, defeating him in straight sets to breeze into third round of Shanghai Masters. Alcaraz broke in the first game and looked comfortable throughout his 6-2, 6-2 victory. Teenager Shang was unable to make much headway against the world number 2. The Spaniard came into the tournament on a 9-match winning streak, having just won the China Open in Beijing. In another match, in fact, top seed Yannick Sinner beat Taro Daniel of Japan 6-1, 6-4 to set up a third round meeting with Thomas Martin Ferry. Hockey India League set to return this year after a break of 7 long years. The league is scheduled to start from last week of December 2024 and will go on till February 2025. This marks the first time that event will be featuring teams from both the categories. DD India's Suchitra has more.
After 7 years, the Hockey India League is set to make a comeback. This time, the league will appear in a new avatar, featuring both men's and women's categories. 10 franchisee owners are associated with the league, with 8 teams in the men's league and 6 teams in the women's league. Hockey India President Dilip Turki stated that this league will increase the number of hockey fans in India.
कुछ सालों में जो जीत मिली है, बैक टू बैक ब्रॉन्ज मेडल जीतना, अच्छे टीम को हराना, किसी भी टीम के साथ फाइट करना, जीत करने का जो कॉन्फिडेंस है, जो हासिल हुआ है, तो फैंस में अभी उछाल आया है. अभी फैंस और भी मैच देखना चाह रहे हैं, अभी और एक्साइटिंग मैच देखना चाह रहे हैं. तो हॉकी इंडिया लीग भी हर एक टीम्स काफ़ी टफ होंगे, काफ़ी स्ट्रॉन्ग साइड होगी, तो फैंस डेफिनेटली एंजॉय करेंगे.
The FIH has reserved a 35-day window in the international hockey calendar for the Hockey India League, allowing international players to participate as well. The start of the Women's League will bring significant changes to women's hockey.
Women's team that really excites me. I think this league is going to do wonders for the women. I think women in sport, especially in India, need platforms like this. And, you know, at JSW, we've always promoted our women, and this is the time now. We're looking forward in LA for the women's team's turn to win their medal.
Truly believe with the success of Indian hockey over the last few years, this is going to be something special, and we're very excited to be part of it. You know, women's sports is on the rise in India at a faster pace than men's, so that's why we were very keen on buying both the men's and women's.
The matches of the Hockey India League will be held in Rourkela and Ranchi, with the men's league taking place in Rourkela and the women's league in Ranchi. The player auction for the league will be held in Delhi a few days later. Suchitra Bharadwaj's report for DD India.
A Vincent van Gogh enthusiast in Bosnia has transformed a plot of land into a giant living version of the painter's masterpiece Starry Night. Halim Zukic, the park's creator, was inspired in 2018 by tractor tracks in his meadows that resembled the painting's swirling patterns. Since then, the 56-year-old has planted 130,000 lavender bushes along with tens of thousands of aromatic and medicinal plants and several thousand trees and crops. That's all for this edition of DD India News Hour, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I am Sardar Bharadwaj from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India News Hour.